Hey there, this is Miss Lana from Noble Root Herbs. I'm going to be doing a modified cookie recipe, and we're making cacao nib, dark chocolate, and CBD cookies today. I'm going to be using 3.5 grams of CBD flour, and I've already milled it to make it more powdery by putting it into a coffee grinder to make it more dispersible. And today I'm going to be doing a more vegetarian, vegan-y version of like a Toll House cookie recipe as an example. But while I'm kind of showing you guys how to make this recipe, I will kind of go over a few things about CBD and about cacao. And I'm going to be using Spelt flour today. I like this brand as well. It is a whole grain, and spelt flour has a different consistency to it too. And what I tend to find with it is it makes, I can't describe it, it's like a chewier cookie. And then today I'm also going to be using some coconut sugar and a little bit of regular brown sugar. So let's go ahead and get started. So instead of using butter, I'm going to be using palm shortening. It looks very much like butter, and it is yummy, yummy. I'm not saying that it's not, fattening, but it's definitely a great alternative if you're trying to cut down on dairy, or if you are completely vegan, or if you're vegetarian, you're really trying to, not go that route of the bovine. This is a great way to kind of get that away out of your diet. So what I like to do is start with creaming the sugars, and my egg substitute today is going to be applesauce. But I'm going to go ahead and get my sugar started. So it's supposed to be 3/4 cup brown sugar, but I'm doing, again, coconut sugar. And what I find with coconut sugar is it actually cuts down the taste of the CBD flour, which some people complain about. They find that the taste is a little too herbally for them, and that's fine. We all have different palates, but what I find if I'm making cookies for people or for parties or events, as an example, I have some events coming up again this weekend. I find that it's a better way to get not only the great goodness of the CBD into the body, but also all the other chocolates, and it's just a different kind of flavor. It's chewy, it has almost like a caramely kind of flavor, almost like a nutty kind of flavor, because it's coconut. So we're going to go ahead and put 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar and 3/4 cup of coconut sugar. So it is going to be a darker looking cookie, and we're just going to go ahead and cream that into 1 cup. And I like to use this brand. I've noticed that they have the more consistency. It's fair trade. It's organic. It's got all the badges and everything you could want out of a shortening or palm oil. And then coconut sugar. There's not a whole lot of tests going around it, but they say that it's better for your metabolism. But I don't have any scientific data to back that up. And I kind of fudged up here. I was supposed to use a different bowl, because what my mom does is she likes to use an electric mixer. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trade this bowl out for this nice big one. So pardon me just for a minute while I fix my goof here. My mom likes to use the egg beaters, and what I found is over the years of making cookies and doing, baking with herbs or without, is that method honestly is the best. So I'm going to go ahead and take heed from my mom's way of doing things, and I'm going to get this electric mixer going. So watch your ears. I'm going to go ahead and put in the applesauce. I'm going to do a 1/2 cup. And now I can kind of see where the consistency's at. Again, when you're doing vegetarian, vegan cooking, sometimes you have to add a little or take a little away depending on what kind of project you're working on. Obviously, once you put something incorporated into something oily, you got to add a little something. I'm going to put just a little bit more applesauce in there. And while I'm doing that, but yeah, let's talk about CBD. So, I mean, other than it makes you feel good and helps with back pains and things of that nature, the more studies that they're doing on it, you know, it's an anti-spasmodic, and it helps people, you know, with seizures. And I'm not sure if you've seen any of these documentaries. So now I'm going to add about a little less than a 1/4 cup of applesauce in there to kind of counteract, because the coconut sugar is a little bit dry, much like brown sugar. But what they found is it is one of the best things for seizures, not only in adults, but in children. It doesn't have the THC component. There we go. Yeah. Almost looks like frosting now. Lick the batter now. If you're at home and you're not making these for people, absolutely lick those beaters. But we're not going to do that today. Although a part of me really wants to. And I'm going to leave this kind of over a clean bowl, or the other one that we were using, rather. Yes, so anti-seizure, anti-spasmodic. Also, you know, obviously they use it for, you know, cancer patients and anxiety management, autoimmune disorders. They're noticing that it is actually activating and waking things up in the immune system to kind of get things balanced out. I'm going to go ahead and add in my vanilla, and I like to do a full tablespoon. Or not tablespoon, teaspoon. I'm just going to go ahead and dump that in there. And then we're going to do our baking soda, teaspoon, and then our salt, teaspoon. And a lot of people say, no, you got to put that in with the flour, blah, blah, blah. I've actually never had any problems incorporating it this way in my entire life. And it's sometimes I put it all in with the flour, and then sometimes I don't. Like, I'll just be real. I have never noticed a difference. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put in 2 1/4 cup of the spelt flour. So, yes, anti-inflammatory effects. So with anti-inflammatory effects with CBD, what they're noticing, people with arthritis, people that have, you know, even things like gout, anything that really causes, you know, aging, bad diet, these types of things, having, you know, pressure on the joints. They're noticing that this is a great resource to use. Bone growth, some of the studies, I'd like to add, here's a research of University of Tel Aviv, discovered that rats given CBD supplementation recovered from similar fractures up to 40% faster. So it makes you wonder what that would be in human, right? And then obviously anorexia is a big one, because it's stimulating the system to want to eat It's also, you know, has like nervine properties. So, and it's a relaxant and a restorative in a sense because of all the different energies and all the different actions that the CBD is doing. So I went ahead and did two and 1/4 cup of spelt flour. I'm not going to be putting any honey in this because these are going to be, again, friendly to our vegans and to our vegetarians that don't do eggs. I'm going to go ahead and hope that this doesn't fly. Okay, so right about here, because again, I'm doing this kind of backwards today, because what you can do is you can take your CBD that you've ground up nice and fine, and you can put it in with your flour and sift it, which is a great way. And if you didn't do that like I didn't do today, you add it in quarter at a time. Got a little bit more to go. Okay. Alrighty. So now that that's incorporated, it's basically time to add in the chocolate chips. That went by fast, huh? And I set the oven preheated to 375, but when I make these big, halfway through the 375, I will take it down to 350 because it makes the cookie puff up like this, but keeps it still kind of like a smaller base and then puffed up top. So it's still chewy, it's crunchy, it's brown down the bottom, but it's definitely by no means overcooked. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to dig in here. It almost feels like frosting because of the palm sugar and the the coconut sugar and the spelt flour. You could actually almost, these are going to be really fluffy, airy cookies. So I'm going to go ahead and add in this chocolate. And I have some dark chocolate chips here. And then I like to fold these in. And then I'm adding in actual cacao nibs. And what I find is they add almost like a crunch like you would if you put, you know, any other kind of nut or legume in here. Whether, you know, I like doing walnuts and different kinds of, you know, Brazilian nuts were actually pretty good one time, but I mean, we had to chop them up. And then hazelnuts really, really good too. And then, yeah, I mean, it's fighting cardiovascular disease when you're using dark chocolates and things of that nature. You got your fiber, your flavonoids, your magnesium. It's been known to, you know, add more potassium into your diet. It improves your mood because it's chocolate. You know, we're the only realm and planet that has chocolate. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. But it's true. I'm going to put just a little bit more nibs in here. because I feel like they're going to add that really nice crunch that we're all kind of craving. And you can just smell. And this would be something where you could put some maca in here and really amp it up, but it'd definitely be a daytime cookie only. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you what the finished product looks like on one of these bad boys. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. So the finished product of this delectable, delicious cookie is it's puffy on top. And even though this has been in the fridge, it is very chewy and crunchy. So good. And it has all that wonderful CBD that will relax you. It will help you with anxiety, help you with sleep, give you a boost mentally. So wonderful. So I just want to share that recipe. It's one of my favorite. And if you don't want to do it vegan, vegetarian style, you can just do your classic Toll House cookie recipe that has the 1 cup of butter, both the sugars, 2 eggs, chopped nuts, 375. Bake it for 9 to 10 minutes, and you're good to go. So those are some of my treats. Again, if you'd like any more information on this, you can go to my website, my Instagram, and I will upload the recipe in the comments below. If you'd like to share your cookie recipes, ideas, or if you have any, just want to say hi, please go ahead and say hi. All right. As always, wellness starts at the root. Take care.